Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we are going to discuss hospital infection. What it is. Firstly, you should know what do you mean by health and disease. As WHO, World Health Organization, gives us a definition for normal health, that is, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being of a person. A state of complete physical, mental and social well-being of a person, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. In this definition, WHO gives coverage to three aspects. Firstly, the person should be physically fit. He should not have any problem, physical problem of his body. Secondly, he should be mentally healthy. He should have no problem related with his thinking, with his performing activities. And thirdly is that the person should be socially healthy. That means his relationships within the family and within the community, in the society where he lives, he should have a complete normal attitude. Then he will be termed as a healthy person. Simply saying that this person is not suffering from any disease, he is not having any physical problem, so we cannot label him as a healthy person. You understand what we mean by health? Secondly, what is disease? It is said that departure from normal health is called disease. When a person, in all the three categories I have already mentioned, physical, mental and social, on all these three aspects, when a person is having normal values, normal levels, we will label him as a healthy person. If he has departed from the normal values, then he will be labeled as a diseased person. What is infection? How it is defined? Infection means an entry of microorganisms capable of causing disease into the human body. Those microorganisms which can cause any disease, if they attack the human body, if they enter the human body, we say that this person has been infected. So infection means entry or attack of any microorganism capable of causing disease in the human body. What are these microorganisms which can cause disease? These are classified into various groups. They can be bacteria, they can be viruses, they can be fungi, they can be parasites. All these four categories, there are dozens of microorganisms belonging to each of these groups, which are capable of causing disease in the human body. How a person gets diseased? When some microorganism attacks on the human body, there are two situations. One is the human body has an immune system which is so much active that it can kill the microorganisms. It can deactivate the microorganisms, then the person will remain healthy. If the attacking microorganism is susceptible, having power to cause the disease, and the person who has been attacked doesn't acquire immunity which can protect him from the particular microorganism, he will be diseased. So two factors. One is the susceptibility of the microorganism, and second is immunity of the person. Their end result will tell us that whether the person remains healthy, whether he remains protected from the disease, or the disease overcomes him. So these are bacteria, viruses, fungi and parasites. When they attack the human body, what happens? They proliferate, they multiply in the body, they increase in numbers, and some microorganisms do produce toxins which affect on the human system and makes him unhealthy. Various bacteria, you must have introduction. Bacteria are small microorganisms which can independently live. They can multiply and increase in numbers, and they affect the humans badly and produce various diseases in them. Common, you must have, there are a number of respiratory tract problems, there are a number of gastrointestinal problems, and all systems of the body which can be affected by different types of bacteria. Similarly, viruses, which can be DNA viruses or RNA viruses, they can infect the human body and produce disease. And a number of fungi and parasites, they can cause various health problems in the human body. In the next lecture, we will discuss these in detail. Today we have just an introduction to the term of infection, how this infection is produced and how we can overcome the infection. Firstly, we can protect our people from various diseases if we make a barrier in the attack of these microorganisms. These microorganisms doesn't reach the human body. A diseased person that can be separated. Like you must be knowing nowadays, we quarantine various people who are suffering from coronavirus. What is that? We isolate them from the healthy people so that the microorganism which is capable of causing, which is capable of spreading the disease, this microorganism doesn't get success to the healthy people. Similarly, various protective facilities are given to the people. They can save themselves from the disease. What is the phenomena of spread of disease? Different microorganisms spread disease through different modes of transmission. Modes of transmission are the routes through which some causative microorganism can get entry into the human body. From natural routes, you see, microorganisms can get entry into the human body through our digestive system. They can get entry through our respiratory system. A person suffering from an infection, when he coughs or when he sneezes, minute particles are released in the atmospheric air which contain the causative microorganisms. If a healthy person breathes in this air, these microorganisms will get entry into the human body and they will produce a disease. There are certain microorganisms which can cause disease even by touching our skin, or there are some others which get entry through an abraded skin. Similarly, microorganisms may not directly infect the person. They can have an indirect entry into the human body with the help of various spreading agents like flies, mosquitoes, and other parasites. You see, mosquitoes are responsible for spreading the disease of malaria and dengue fever into the human body. The infected mosquito, when bites the human body, it introduces the causative microorganism into the human body, where they proliferate, where they multiply, and then they produce symptoms of the disease. For every infection to occur, microorganisms take a certain time. Then there is entry of some microorganism into the human body. The person doesn't get symptoms and signs of the disease at once, but it takes a specified time when the symptoms of the disease appear in the man. This period of time between the entry of the microorganism and appearance of first symptom of the disease, this we term as incubation period. Every microorganism have different incubation period. For example, incubation period of coronavirus is 14 days. When this virus attacks the human body, it will take up to 14 days time for producing symptoms of the disease in that person. This period is labeled as incubation period. So you understand what we mean by health, what we mean by disease, and what is this infection. What are various modes of transmission of the infection? These can be direct contact with the body. These can be entry through various body systems, entry through our digestive system, entry through our respiratory system. Trachoma is a disease when germs attack our eyes. They have direct contact and the person eyes becomes inflamed and he gets the disease. Scabies is a disease that directly infects the person when its germs get attachment, gets access to our skin. The other thing I have told you that the microorganisms can get entry through other living things, mosquitoes, flies, various parasites. They can be responsible for transmitting the infectious agent to the human body. There is another common route of spread of the disease, which is quite problem creating in our country, that is through various instruments with the help of syringes. There is a bad practice of reusing the syringes for injecting. Certain people say one person injects some medicine to a patient. That patient is already having a problem, say that of hepatitis B or C. This needle of the syringe will get contaminated from that infection, and if this syringe gets touching with the normal person, an injection is given, or it accidentally makes a prick, those germs will be transmitted to the human body and the person will get the disease. So, there are various modes of transmission of a disease, and all the disease process, that is, firstly, whenever a disease is transmitted to man, it requires a susceptible microorganism, a good route of spread, and poor immunity in the person. We say that if there is good immunity in any person, he will not be diseased even after the entry of the microorganism. This point is, we should obey personal hygienic measures firstly, then we should make the people immune against diseases. This can be done by giving various vaccines. You see, infant mortality rate is very high in Pakistan. Infant age is when the newborn child reaches complete 1 year of life. This time period is called infancy time, first year of the life. In our country, IMR, infant mortality rate, is in the ranges of some 55 to 60 per thousand, which means that newborn babies, if there are 1,000 newborn babies, out of them up to 60 babies die before reaching their first birthday, before completing their first year of life. This is very high. In the developed countries, this rate is less than 10 per thousand. Whereas in our country, it is between 55 to 60 per thousand. Why? Because prevalence of various infections, acute respiratory tract infections, especially pneumonia, then infantile diarrhea, disease of loose motion, then a number of other problems which increase this mortality in the Pakistani children, Pakistani infants. What we do, we have started EPI program, expanded program of immunization for the children, in which we say that every child should be given protection against 10 diseases which are responsible for high mortality in our infants. We give these vaccines right from the time of birth, and it is said that these should be completed by the time the child reaches 1 year age or 15 months of age. We protect them against polio, against diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, then against hepatitis B, Haemophilus influenza, then against diarrhea, measles, and this will be discussed later on in detail. Then we will tell you the schedule of the vaccination, etc. But here I just want to tell you that when we give any vaccine to the person, what it do? This vaccine will increase the immunity, or it will produce immunity in the person so that he can fight against the causative microorganisms when they attack him. Similarly, nowadays it is very popular slogan that you get vaccinated against the disease which is now becoming a pandemic problem. We can make our people resistant against diseases by producing immunity in them against various diseases. So, this you understand what is infection. Infection is the entry of a microorganism capable of producing disease in the human body, and how it makes the person diseased when the person attacked is not having good immunity against that microorganism, he will get disease. If he has good immunity, he will be saved from the problems. We will, in our next lecture, discuss various microorganisms in detail, modes of transmission, then immunity, then vaccination. All these topics will be discussed in detail. Today, I have just given you an introduction to these. So, thank you very much.